Marjorie Taylor Greene is a pretty popular figure with a lot of us MAGA adherents. She's the chair of the House Oversight DOGE subcommittee. And the Georgia congresswoman just delivered an absolute brilliant summation of why DOGE exists. They're holding a subcommittee hearing today on the war on waste, and there's expected to be fireworks because the Democrats are completely unhinged over government efficiency. It's the craziest thing I think I've ever seen in my life. Why they're freaking out about what DOGE is accomplishing. If you're watching on Salem News Channel, I'm holding up the cover of today's New York Post. Here's how bad USAID got. It once paid for a terrorist's college tuition. And the big banner headline, as only the New York Post can do, says the jihad bill. The controversial U.S. Agency for International Development, USAID, shelled out thousands to send an al-Qaeda terrorist with ties to 9/11 to college in America. It's an education that he got and that he used to help recruit and groom terrorists for future attacks against Americans. That's part of the U.S. Agency for International Development. Now, another big part of USAID is feeding poor people, getting medicine into the hands of people who need it all over the world, doing good things. And I've said over and over, don't throw the baby out with the bathwater, but at the very least, you've got to uncover the waste and the misuse and the abuse of taxpayer funds. Victor Davis Hanson laid out the history of USAID. It was signed into reality by President John F. Kennedy in 1961 through an executive order. Donald Trump signed DOGE into existence by executive order. There's no constitutional crisis. Somebody put a montage together yesterday that I saw last night before I went to bed. They're all parroting the same crap. Constitutional crisis, constitutional crisis, constitutional crisis. They got the memo. They received the talking points. Let's screech that there's a constitutional crisis to scare people into thinking there's a constitutional crisis, and there's no constitutional crisis. They're melting down. And good things are coming. I am so positive today. I feel so great, and I hope you do too. I am loving this. I'm relishing what we're seeing. Last night, there was Trump and Elon Musk and Elon's son, little X, on his dad's shoulders in the Oval Office, and there's Elon answering question after question after question. It was such a refreshing thing to see. Here's Elon with a black, he's got the dark MAGA hat on and a dark raincoat or trench coat, suit coat, whatever. His kid is adorable. And Elon Musk, with the president's approval, there's President Trump seated at the Resolute desk. There's Elon standing with his little boy next to Donald Trump. Rich Lowry tweeted out a picture of it on X, and it was so classic, and Rich is right. He showed the picture of Elon and little X and Trump smiling, looking over at them. And Rich wrote, well, certainly looks like a self-coup or something equally sinister could be imminent. Elon and the little boy and Trump explaining why DOGE exists. Here was Elon last night in the Oval Office.
Your detractors, Mr. Musk,
I have to what?
including a lot of Democrats.
I have detractors?
You do, sir.
I don't believe it.
Say that you're orchestrating a hostile takeover of government and doing it in a non-transparent way. What's your response to that criticism?
Well, first of all, you couldn't ask for a stronger mandate from the public. The public voted we have a majority of the public voting for President Trump. We've won the House, we won the Senate. The people voted for major government reform. There should be no doubt about that. That was on the campaign. The president spoke about that at every rally. The people voted for major government reform, and that's what people are going to get. They're going to get what they voted for. And a lot of times, people that don't get what they voted for, but in this presidency, they are going to get what they voted for. And that's what democracy is all about.
I mean, you're going to complain about this? Lack of transparency. What haven't they answered? You know, at one point in that Oval Office press conference last night, somebody brought up the fact that evidently it was incorrect that $50 million were being fed to or channeled to buy condoms for, I forget what country. And Musk said, I was wrong on that. And he says, when I'm wrong, you need to call me out. He said, we're not going to bat 1,000. And when I'm wrong, we need to make sure it gets corrected. How much more do you want from him? How much more transparency do you need? But they're so desperate and they're freaking out so badly. Listen to this lunatic, Jamie Raskin, calling for the impeachment of Elon Musk. Impeachment!
Does not like the idea that a guy who would not even be constitutionally eligible to run for president is acting as president, a guy who, if he were president, would be impeached immediately because he's taking billions of dollars in foreign government emoluments from all over the world. And some people have actually been talking about impeaching President Elon Musk right now, on the theory that he's usurped the powers of the presidency. So
I'm not sure if that's an attempt at humor or if he's really that stupid. I suspect it's the latter rather than the former. Welcome in to a Wednesday, February 12th episode of the Mike Gallagher Show. 800-655-MIKE. One phone call does it all. You can text or call 800-655-6453. We're in the Relief Factor studios watching the winning, watching the success. And yet, you got to hear a little bit of the fireworks from the DOGE subcommittee hearing taking place right now as Marjorie Taylor Greene beautifully laid out why DOGE exists. And listen to the Democrat freakout and why they're complaining. You don't want to miss that. It's all coming up. Marjorie Taylor Greene, this is so good. She's, of course, the chair of the House Oversight DOGE subcommittee. Now, you got the Democrats melting down, but Marjorie Taylor Greene, Congresswoman Greene, Chairwoman Greene, explaining why DOGE exists in the first place.
This committee will be laser focused on bringing full transparency to waste, fraud, and abuse within the federal government and presenting the plans to fix the tremendous problems we expose. We as a country are $36 trillion in debt. That is such a stunning amount of money. It's absolutely staggering to even comprehend how we as a people, we as a country, found ourselves here. This is not a Democrat problem. This is not a Republican problem. This is an American problem. To make it clear for everyone, not only are we $36 trillion in debt, but the compounding interest on our debt is also growing out of control. Even if we decided to defund the entire federal government, we cannot escape our debt and the compounding interest owed on our debt, which grows bigger and bigger every year. In 2025, interest payments are projected to be $952 billion, which is more than our entire military budget. In 2026, it will be $1 trillion. And by 2035, $1.8 trillion. Over the next decade, total interest payments are projected to be $13.8 trillion. These interest payments don't serve a single American. They don't build a bridge, a road, provide disaster relief, or fund a single part of the behemoth that is the federal government. These interest payments pay our masters who own our debt, and the American people are in debt slavery to everyone who owns our debt. Our crippling national debt and massively growing interest on our debt will destroy us. Not destroy one political party or the other, it will destroy all of us together. It drives inflation, making life unaffordable for Americans struggling to financially survive. It is crippling small businesses struggling to be successful. Our massively growing debt and interest are the chains and shackles harnessed to every American and their children and every generation to come.
She's never been better. And I defy you to tell me that you object to one thing she said. What did she say that you could find fault with? What did she say there? Elon Musk is right. The people voted for major government reform. That's what Trump promised, and that's what he's delivering. And they are absolutely out of their minds. They're cursing. Yeah, look at this goofy Oregon congresswoman. She's a mom. And she's embarrassed. It's like they told her, it was almost like a hostage video. They said, now look, Congresswoman Maxine Dexter, you got to say F Trump. Well, but I'm a mom, and what about? No, you got to do it, because we're all doing it. Al Green's waving the cane, and Pocahontas is hopping up and down mad. You got to say F Trump. Well, but I'm a mom. Nope, you got to do it, Maxine. So what did Maxine do? She did it.
I don't swear in public very well, but we have Trump. Please don't tell my children that I just did that.
Oh, well, guess what? Too late. Your kids know that mommy has a filthy mouth and stands at a microphone with a bunch of raving lunatics and says F Trump. It's astounding. President Musk. Oh, yeah, they're going to impeach President Musk. How about saluting the Department of Government efficiency? How in the world do you find fault with that? Do you have anybody yet, Tracy? Do we have any Democrats objecting? I mean, I saw this other Democrat who gave some statements right after Marjorie Taylor Greene. I mean, what in the world could they say to that? There's nothing. F Trump. That's all you got. You got Anderson Cooper on CNN with vulgarities last night. I mean, this is classic. Now, I'm going to warn you, because we've got the mom in the minivan rule. I never want mom in the minivan to have to be embarrassed with their kids. So I'm going to give you a heads up. For the next 90 seconds, we're going to play a clip that is adult. Anderson Cooper, heir to the Vanderbilt fortune, the guy who's the rock solid, he's the rock of CNN. He's the legitimate journalist. Listen to former New Hampshire Governor Chris Sununu getting insulted by the schoolyard bully, Anderson Cooper, because he got so exasperated.
These guys are saving $2.3 billion a day.
Right, but
it's incredible.
That's what they're saying.
But where's the proof? You're waiting. You're not going to be satisfied till he shows up with 10,000 pages.
But we're talking about 10,000 pages. Yeah. He's giving very specific things,
yes, he's giving
but he's not actually giving any evidence of that.
It's all going to come, because what they also said was, if we have to go to Congress, we'll go to Congress.
Right, but
we'll show where
some of the details that have come out, like the $59 million spent on luxury hotels, it's actually not.
You're talking about the FEMA money that was abused for migrants. FEMA money for migrants. That's okay now.
No, I'm not saying it's okay. I'm not saying it's okay. Don't put words in my mouth.
So would you stop that? Would you stop that process?
Don't be a dick. What I'm saying is the portrayal by him is just not factually accurate. He's talking about luxury hotels. I'm not a big look. I was in Hurricane
Until he sends you a
I saw what
text,
FEMA
you're
does.
Not believe it. I get it.
See, Anderson Cooper lives in New York, and he knows damn well, pardon my language, I guess it's contagious, that millions and millions of dollars of taxpayer money are going to these luxury hotels. to house migrants. Cooper knows that. Anderson Cooper knows that. He's playing dumb, and he's telling Chris Sununu, don't be a Richard. Smooth move, Anderson. Classy. 800-655-MIKE. But Elon Musk, he's another, he too is the road runner. Trump and Elon are road runners. Dana Bash is Wile E. Coyote. Dana Bash at CNN is trying to catch the road runner. Beep, beep. And Elon Musk changed his handle, his name on X. Now, I don't want to say the name because it's, kind of vulgar, but but it wasn't, and that's not spelled the way you'd think it's spelled. It's got a Z in there. But one would think Dana Bash wouldn't be stupid enough to take the bait. One would think she wouldn't read the name on CNN. But again, the Wile E. Coyote was never particularly smart. So let me again warn the soccer moms, use discretion for the next 30 seconds rather. Come back after 30 seconds, but I just have to play what Dana Bash actually said, looking into a camera, reading a teleprompter with a pained expression on her face.
Now, the disruptor-in-chief, Elon Musk, who apparently has adopted the alias, at least he changed his social media handle to Harry Balls, tweeted this morning, "Democracy in America is being destroyed by judicial coup. An activist judge is not a real judge."
This is what I've come to. This is what this show has come to. We have to have meetings with very important people about what we can air. This is Elon Musk. And Elon Musk, of course, is having a field day, just laughing all the way to the DOGE office and back. Dana Bash did it. She read his new screen name. I mean, what's she going to do if his new screen name at X is @Dana Bash is an imbecile? I guess she'll have to read that. That should be his name for tomorrow. Change it to Dana Bash is a moron. @Dana Bash is a moron.